The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
Have him introduce you to the staff as the new mayor. Seriously, have him introduce you to the staff as the new mayor and then get that shot and get out.
Yeah. I've decided, just gonna, turn things over to Brittany for today. Take a day off.
And then I'm gonna be like, when's lunch?
That's right. we get 5 more. It's a 2 martini lunch, right? Or 3 martini lunch.
That's what I'm hoping for.
There you go. No, it'll be fun. And then he'll be on Club Muddy the following week.
Really?
Really? You got him?
Got him.
Nice.
Yep.
That's awesome.
We're not gonna let you know who yet, but we got somebody. So
that's a teaser.
It is a teaser. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So, well, welcome back, everybody. Thanksgiving was fun for everybody, I hope.
Yeah. Busy, but fun.
It was.
Yeah.
I am not. I'm not a big travel guy. I mean, once I get there, I'm fine. But just the airports and the whole.
You get anxiety?
I don't get anxiety. It's just like I just want to be there.
I do.
I'm at the airport 2 hours before I'm supposed to be, and there were no issues except on the way back. Our flight from Southern California, because we were out there visiting Ellen's sister and her family, we were pushed back. So our flight to Denver got back a half hour late. So I had to sprint through the airport, and I used to be able to sprint, but I really can't anymore.
Of that?
No, but somebody said I look like O.J. Simpson, but I didn't have any gloves on. So, for those of you who remember, he used to do a Hertz Airport commercial before he was accused of killing his wife.
Okay, I was like, I'm not tracking here, running from the cops.
I'm going to include a Hertz commercial in this, so you'll see O.J. jumping over luggage through the airport. So, but I got there and we got on the plane fine. So
I would love to see you running through an airport.
I was hurting.
It's like a Christmas movie.
And when you say and when you say 2 hours before you're supposed to be there, are you talking 2 hours before the 2 hours? So you're there like 4 hours ahead of time? Okay, just 2.
No, the 2 hours, the full 2 hours.
Okay.
Our flight was at 4:50 p.m. I wanted to be, which is 10 till 5. I wanted to be at the airport at 2:45.
Now, are you having drinks in the airport?
I would have if my ID hadn't been.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Expired, which I'm just glad. Thank you TSA for letting me on the plane anyway.
Now you just
I had my birthday, and and I had my birthday and didn't notice so on the way down I went to get a Bloody Mary, and they said, "You're not supposed to give us to you, but your license expired." So I kind of worried the entire trip back that crap, what if I get stuck in California? I mean, there's worse places to be stuck.
That would be so sad.
Yeah, I'm running Muddy River News from Orange County and sitting on the beach, but no, and then got back fine. So, but I did have, after I did my sprint to the plane, I did have a whiskey just because
you deserved it.
I want a whiskey and a water.
Yeah.
Not a whiskey and a water get mixed. I want a whiskey and I want a water.
Yeah.
And I was fine.
I think it's like a tradition for me and anyone who travels with me to have drinks at the airport. Not too many that you can't get on the plane, but we do get primed pretty well because I do get anxiety.
I normally would have, but like I said, I had the Bloody Mary on the way down. It was good. And then we stayed at the Drury right across the highway, and stayed the night before in St. Louis, but we drove back. Yeah, thank you for the help on that.
Yeah,
and. But no, it was good. So, and you also did traveling over break.
Yeah, I did.
On a beach.
And then my airport drinks were IPAs, and I think we ordered 2, and it was $28, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
It's really incredible, not in a good way, how expensive things are everywhere, of course. And I know I sound like a broken record saying that, but at the airport, it's like, oh yeah, $28. What's money when you're on vacation?
Yeah.
That's how I am. Are you guys the same way? It's like I forget my budget.
Yeah.
It just goes out the window.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'll spend $40 on a hardback book. Why not?
The Bloody Mary with 2 shots of Tito's was $15.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's reasonable, actually.
Yeah, well, it's not in Quincy when, you go to Spring Street and your drinks are, $5 or whatever. So.
Right.
Although, I tell you what, when we went down to St. Louis, we like to go to the restaurant next door to the Drury, Lombardo's. Mm-hmm. Great Italian place. But they're not open on Mondays, and we're staying there Monday night. So we went, and Ellen's from Florissant, so we went down and kind of drove through her old hood and on Lindbergh and then, Halls Ferry Road and all that area. But there's a place on Lindbergh called Mattingly's, which is this bar and grill. Great steaks and just a kind of a sports bar, but steaks. And I wanted to watch I think it was the Chiefs-Eagles game. And so we went there, and I ordered a Budweiser, and it was only $3.25.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm in St. Louis, and only $3.25. Now I know they just make the Budweiser like right down the street there.
Yeah.
But it was a very reasonably priced meal, because you're used to going places lately and you get your bill and it's like, geez, it was really reasonable. And then in California, I mean, two big pizzas were like $50, and
California's expensive.
and then the Reagan Library was really cool. We did that. They had Air Force One in there, and then they had an Auschwitz exhibit that was really heart wrenching.
Yeah.
It was really
Can't even imagine.
But the Reagan Library was great. I asked my kids if they want what size Reagan Bush T-shirts do you want, and got very nasty comments from all.
They're
of them
not all on the same page
No,
as
I love
the
them,
three
but
of
Still,
us.
it's vintage though.
It's really
I got a
cool.
hat.
And you brought back
Brought back a
a
bust.
sous vide.
A Reagan
Nice.
bust,
A bust.
Lincoln bust. Now I do want a Truman bust up there too, because
Yeah.
Missouri's president, and then we got, of course, Hamilton and Burr here.
Yeah.
There's no gunfire, no blood though, but they're just back there. So
Yeah.
I have some vintage on my bus.
I love.
yes,
Look at you. That was an amazing
That was good.
You're
seg.
Good segue.
Yeah.
Good segue.
That was freaking
Good.
awesome.
Yeah. But I really don't know where I got it from, to tell you the truth, because I'm pretty sure I did not go to this basketball camp.
No? Well, it's a really cool shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
It says Lauren Wallace. Blue
Yeah, it was
Devil
Lauren Wallace basketball camp. I mean, I think I may have went to one of them when I was little, and then my parents realized very quickly that I was.
You're not a basketballer.
No,
Yeah.
no. I don't know. I mean, I played a little bit. I played CYO, and I was a little scrappy, I guess.
Basketball?
Yeah, kind of. Andy Leeson taught me how to shoot a basketball, because I was shooting like this, and then after I learned the swish, it was it was all good from there.
All right, now
And
I
I grew
gotta
up
see-
from right down the street from Johnson Park, which was a big basketball park.
Still
Still
is.
is.
Yes, I
Still
know.
is.
And our guests grew up from down the street there too.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't like put two and two together until the other day.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
We were catty corner neighbors, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Johnson Park has basketball and pickleball now.
Really?
Pickleball is all the rage.
They really,
Yeah.
a lot of the tennis courts have really been converted into pickleball courts, and around town, the park district's seen the need for that. And but yeah, those are the Johnson Park. I mean, Quincy's got some legendary parks. You with Berry Ann, and then down at Frederick Ball, and then of course Johnson Park. All these places that, and then a lot of the old school gyms too. People would go in and play in Emerson.
Yeah.
And I remember I played, and then the one hidden secret place to go play basketball that I went years ago was Chaddock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played in the Chaddock gym, and I went up for a layup, and our buddy Big Ralph put me in the wall.
No.
Oh my God! Yeah.
All right, I got to see that too.
Oh my God!
So I want to see you running through the airport.
I don't think that's on video.
Yeah, we
You
gotta
playing
play
basketball
Listen,
and you getting laid
Doug
out.
Bruner
This is-
gave me a pass. I made a backdoor cut, and Doug Bruner shot this pass to me because I was playing with him and Jeff Wellman and a bunch of guys, and they needed a guy, so I stepped in, and I went up, and Ralph just plowed me. I mean, it was just, I'm like, dude.
Nice.
And he goes, okay, it's a foul. At least he admitted it was a foul.
Right,
Because
right,
usually
right.
when Ralph hacked you, he didn't
Yeah.
admit it was a foul. But he said, it's a foul.
all pre-video,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Thank goodness.
well, I mean, nowadays you can't get anything by not having
No.
a video,
If I tried to dribble a basketball today and it got recorded, I'm sure it would go viral.
also, yeah, you
Huh.
can't really commit any crime without
No.
being caught
Nope.
on tape. So
Oh, we have readers now. We have cameras all over town now.
Yeah.
License plate readers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of facilities, I want to back up a minute because some news came out about one of the facilities
Oh,
in town, right? The Y.
Yeah.
It's closing their pool.
Yes.
What the actual F? Okay.
I don't know if you know this or not. Pools are really expensive.
They
Okay.
are, but that's like the
That was the-
mainstay
yeah.
there, right? Like that is like
that's
the,
what separated them from the rest.
yeah.
I think
And when you drive by, what are we going to see in those windows now?
it'll be a
They're
fitness
putting a
center.
new fitness center. in
They
there.
are?
Mhm. They're taking everything up from the basement and putting it all there.
So do you think they're making more money on fitness memberships?
Yes, without question.
So do you think that played a part in not
Absolutely
fixing the
it did.
pool? Well, I bet the people who are used to using that pool and who had used it to, better themselves, their health, that's going to be a
A damper.
Well,
Yeah.
you got QU. People can join there. You have Sheridan.
But are there any
You join a
places that?
QU?
Yeah.
Sure you can.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Are there any places though that are income based?
I don't know.
I don't
that.
think so. And the Y was. So that is taking.
I would
a
hope Quincy
huge
University
thing.
would be, because it's a fine Franciscan organization, and in the spirit of brotherhood, they should do that.
Well, based on the amount of money I paid tuition there, I'm going to go ahead and say
Same.
no.
Also, yeah, same.
I'm outnumbered here.
happening.
3 QU grads, I think,
Right?
right? I think I'm outnumbered.
Yeah.
So 3 QU grads almost equals 1 Mizzou grad, though.
Oh, we'll see about that.
That was a slow burn, but
No, but yes, the Y. I mean, it was going to cost them $3.5 million to fix the pool. Remember back when the Park District made the decision to close Sheridan, or not close Sheridan, to close
Wavering.
Wavering. They put it on the
Sad
ballot.
day.
They put it on the ballot. And they said, this is going to cost $5 million. Do you want us to do this or not? And the people voted it down. Just barely voted it down. I thought, and that was right before I got on the park board, and I've always thought decisions like that is why you elect your park board. They make those decisions. Don't pawn it off on the public, because they almost got stuck with, oh gosh, we got to spend $5 million on a pool now. So I would have supported that, because again, it's ridiculously expensive, and the window to use an outdoor pool, indoor pool is a different matter.
Yeah.
But an outdoor pool, the window is so narrow. If I was the park district, I would, it's still on the park district. I'd do everything I can to keep Indian Mounds going. I mean, maybe now there'll be more of a partnership with the Jackson Lincoln pool, because I know the Y's had some involvement in that. So I hope that continues. And then, of course, like I said, the private membership options would be QU and Sheridan.
Yeah.
So,
And the Croc.
and the
And
Croc.
Croc, yeah.
But is the Croc actually a swimming pool, or is this kind of a floating?
No,
it
there
has
is-
lanes.
Yeah,
Does
there are
it?
2
Yeah.
lanes.
I mean, I can't
But
remember the
it's.
last time
I mean,
was in
it
there.
doesn't compare.
And then the one that you just
know?
kind of like swirl around in or something.
Yeah, it doesn't compare to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just 2 different settings. So for those that were taking it seriously, like you said, it's kind of a sad.
Well, in the tradition of, people who grew up in Quincy, it's like driving by there. Yeah, you see people jumping off the side of
Yeah.
the pool. My kids did swim lessons there. It's just
where I took my swim lessons.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sad day. That's a bummer. It's very unfortunate. And I would think that there would be grants or something that would help
Yes. Sure.
do that.
Yeah.
If they wanted to keep it.
Sure.
But they just decided no.
The board thought
That
this would
sucks.
be the fiscally responsible decision.
Yeah. Well, I don't know anything about that, so I can't argue it, but I will say it's a very unfortunate event.
But any other thing is, there were a lot of people who were upset about it
Yeah.
on social media. I get that, but how many of those people are still members of the Y?
Or who
I think,
utilize the
or
pool,
who
yeah.
have you? Again,
Yeah.
now Ellen, her class, she will take her school classes. They will get grants to go swim there, and now she's talked about, well, are we going to go to QU? Or are we going to go to Sheridan? Or they're going to try to figure out a way to work around that too now.
Yeah.
But so that's one thing. You did have a lot of classes, and again, like Brittany's totally right about the whole income-based thing. So
It would be nice if, like a Sheridan or a QU or something just did maybe income-based classes for, people in certain sectors, like the older folks who go there for low impact, or people who are struggling financially, or so,
Again, I believe that this would be something that should fall into the Quincy University mission statement, but we'll have
There
to
you
see.
go. Are you on the
So-
board there?
No.
Okay.
No, not
Well,
on the board.
I feel like you
I am
should
on
be.
no boards.
Dang
I
it.
have one position, and that's running this clown
Captain
car.
captain of the shipwreck. Yes. Yep. Speaking of captain, our guest is basically like the captain of all things QHS basketball.
Yeah.
And I just went to that tournament, and talk about fanfare and just like the feeling of, man, I'm home and this is freaking awesome, it's unmatched,
I will admit
unrivaled.
that 3 QHS graduates probably outweighs a Mark Twain graduate.
There you
so I'll
go.
give you the high school.
There you go.
So, but
Yeah, there's no
back.
fight in that one.
But yeah, no, it's I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna let you Blue Devils all chat and reminisce, and maybe our guest can teach you a thing or 3 about basketball.
Hopefully, because I don't know nothing.
All right, we'll be right back. A&B Properties is Quincy's largest apartment rental company with hundreds of units available. They offer short-term and long-term rentals with 1 up to 4 bedroom apartments. A&B Properties meets the needs of its tenants with care, compassion, and a quality of service that exceeds expectations. A&B Properties also has a convenient tenant app for you to do your payments or make repair requests. Give them a call today. A&B Properties, 217-919-8080, Quincy.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Ooh, baby, get hyped to the beat. Let's go, cause this is our jam. This is our jam. Let's go.
Yeah. Don't throw it, you goober.
It's the old one. It's a piece of crap. I don't have a new watch. I'm getting one for Christmas. I hope.
Man, I watched Mike play. I watched him play the guitar years ago, and he motivated me to learn how to play the guitar.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Well, you should say that on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Who did he used to play with? I can't remember what.
Jamil Mahmood in that.
Yeah.
Is that who you're thinking
Yeah,
of?
yeah.
That's
Anyway, I
probably one of
watched
the
him play,
sweetest
and
things I've ever heard.
That is
My
crazy.
brother
Yeah.
taught himself, and I was like, man, that Mike is freaking killing it.
Oh.
You know, I knew
He's
Mike
good.
in high school, but not.
Wait. Okay. So are you and
Really
Mike
well.
around the same age?
What was he? A couple years older.
I think he was 2 years old. Yeah,
Are you
2.
guys the same age?
Uh-huh.
So you graduated
2000, baby.
Really?
Yeah.
twinsies over here
Right.
too.
I mean,
oh my gosh, did
I
we
can't
plan
even-
this? Did we plan this?
Double on the left.
We can't
breast,
even
dude.
make it up.
I love it.
Yours is a little bit cooler.
That's
You got
funny
the Nike
though.
and that. What does this represent?
Oh, this is brain cancer.
Brain cancer. Yeah.
Coach Lep.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome that they're repping that. That's very cool. Anyway, okay, so I think we started because that's some pretty
Yes.
good. That's some pretty good stuff. Andy Douglas, welcome, my friend.
It's good to be here.
It is good to have you. So yeah, we're joking about our matching matchertons, but I mean,
Somebody didn't get the notification.
I know, right?
I
but
mean,
she's wearing a
What's
badass
your
shirt.
level?
vintage.
I like
I'm
it.
vintage.
I like
Yeah.
it.
So
It's
would
pretty
he?
awesome.
I guess obviously Lauren Wallace was your coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was my coach. And
Before my time, vintage guys. You're
Right,
vintage.
yeah,
Sorry.
I was
that
going to
in.
say you better slow that down.
Yeah.
Well,
Vintage.
I mean, I don't know. I even had to kind of think about it today. Like I'm like, I had to look up the coaches because it was Sean Taylor when I was there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I didn't really pay attention to who the coach was when I was a kid and watching the Blue Devil, wave the flame.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the highlight when I was a kid.
It still is.
I mean, yeah,
Shit's awesome.
I guess.
I mean, I love
don't
the
know.
game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I mean, it's the
nobody
game
cares
now.
about the coach. It's the Blue Devil with the flame.
Hey, okay, so we'll get to that in a minute, but I do want to, okay, so when did you start playing basketball?
Oh man, I as soon as I can remember.
Really?
I have memories. My memory is a little different. I can remember stuff that happened, 40 years. Well, not 40. I'm only 42, but 38 years ago that took place. But I can't remember what my wife told me to go pick up at Hy-Vee.
Go figure.
So yeah, I'm one of those
That's
guys.
selective memory,
Right,
dude.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, it was young. It was. As soon as I get a ball in my hand, I was playing.
And then you played junior high and senior high, right?
I moved here in 7th grade.
Okay.
We moved from St. Peters, Missouri, and
And the rest is history.
yeah, the rest is history.
That's awesome. So, of course, head coach for the QHS Blue Devils. I want to make sure we mention that because I'm sure everybody knows, but
Andy-
you never know. Andy Douglas.
Douglas Legacy.
Right? Also just an all-around really, really amazing dude. I want to go ahead and say that because you've always been one of my favorite people.
You're gonna make a mixed man with a beard blush.
You're the
Thank
best.
you.
Yeah, no, you're the best. I remember, Blue Devil games from high school, and you and Nick Highland and
Oh,
Mark
yeah.
and all
Yeah.
the whole gang, and you guys were so funny, even like through the hallways. One thing I always remember is you guys smacking each other's butts, and I thought it was so funny that you just had no qualms about it. It was everywhere you went. It was
That's a
like
sports thing, though, right?
Is it?
I think so.
I thought it was just these guys. I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, it's good. Like you slap somebody and teammate. You
Yeah.
say good game.
Yeah.
Like, that's just.
In
we
the
always
hallway.
had good games in the hallway.
Yeah.
apparently. I don't know.
No, it was awesome.
You mentioned that, and I'm getting on my players now for doing some of the same stuff.
Really?
Oh, well, I mean,
You
it's a
guys
new
knock it
world.
off.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Well, you can't be doing that
Yeah,
stuff.
no kidding.
The things
New
that you
world.
were doing in the hallways, the things that I was doing in the hallways, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
Right? We won't. We'll keep that under wraps. But so basketball, of course, has been your life. Now, how many years have you been a coach?
It's 20, over half, well, right around half. It's been 23, 24 years.
Really?
All in all.
Yeah.
Started when I was done playing at Quincy University. Coach Wallace, who you have on your shirt there, he called me up and said, "Hey, I heard you're done. We want to get you into coaching if you want to. We got a spot for you if you want." So I talked with him a little bit, and he offered me the junior high assistant job, and took that. Was coaching with Magic, Mike Rudd, and learned a lot in the first year year or two as an assistant, and then got into head coaching at the 7th grade level and moved my way on up, and assistant coach at Quincy High School, took over at Liberty 2010 to 2014, and been at Quincy High School ever since. So it's I can't believe, now that you asked that question, I can't
been a
believe it's been
while.
that.
It's crazy
been that
to say
long.
it out loud.
Yeah,
It's
it
crazy to
is.
hear it.
2014, when you went back to QHS,
Yeah.
did you go back as the head coach? Is that-
I was back as the head coach.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yep. Yeah. So it was, man, that brings back a lot of memories. But it's been a long time that I've been in it, and my body feels like it, but mentally I don't feel like I'm that old.
Really?
But, it's pretty cool to reflect, on that.
Very cool. I can only imagine. So I mentioned before that I went to the Thanksgiving tournament, and something that never gets old and you never get used to, and it's heartwarming and goosebump inducing, is the opening ceremony / fanfare of the QHS basketball games. I know you have a new Blue Devil, right?
Yep.
His name is
Nate Hetzler.
He's really
Yeah,
good.
He is good. He's really
He
good.
gets that crowd going.
Yeah, he was a player for us last couple years, and wanted to step into this role, and it fits him.
It does fit him.
That's awesome.
He's really
he's
good.
fantastic. The Blue Devil, people really don't understand what it takes to step into that role. You have to, submit a resume. You come in, you get interviewed.
Really?
Usually it's in front of myself and our athletic director, Matt McClellan, and Bill Sanders has also been on some of those interviews. And then after that, you go down to the gym and we, play the music, and you go through it by yourself. And it's
Like come out of the tunnel and
yeah.
run around and do what you're going to do.
Now the flame isn't lit because
Right. Oh, that makes it worse though.
it does. It does.
Yeah.
But, we have to be safe in that. We
Yeah.
teach them everything that.
Do they get the band during the tryout? I
No,
mean, that's
no.
It's
where
just quiet.
Really?
Well, it's
Oh,
playing over the speakers.
Oh, okay.
So I play it.
Okay, because I mean, like that's where I think that, like you said, yeah, they hype it up, but the
Yeah.
band,
Yeah.
that's where it
The
comes
band, the crowd. I mean, they just got done introducing the opposing team, so it's like the fans are fired up, and the smoke starts pummeling out of the tunnel. I mean, it is just incredible. So
It's cozy. Your heart is pounding.
oh my gosh!
out.
Yeah.
Your
And
heart-
now, and I don't know how long they've been doing it. Maybe forever. But for some reason, I just noticed it last weekend or Thanksgiving weekend was the Quincy flags. They're running around, and
Yeah.
then the opening when your guys are out there and they're like, I don't even know what you call it. They're shooting at baskets
Yeah.
and then tossing it to
Yeah.
each other and.
Little pregame warm up.
God, that's it.
Yeah,
Warm up.
pregame.
See, okay.
this is gonna be
You're
fun.
learning.
Right? Cut
You're
me some
learning.
slack. But I'm telling you, sitting there watching that go down, especially since I am, a QHS Blue Devil and always will be, it's so incredible, and it really does get your blood pumping, and there is no way to not be a fan at that point.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, even as a coach, it's been numerous years and pounds since I played basketball at Quincy High. But as a coach, you stand on the sideline and you kind of take it all in. And, I use it as a time. I move to the baseline. I always fold a towel, which, I have a lot of OCD tendencies. But
Really?
I take a Gatorade towel and I fold it, and it has to be perfectly folded on the baseline. But then after I get done with that, it's kind of my way to, like, calm myself
Yes.
down
That's
a
your
little bit.
ritual?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I, get a chance with the players to watch the ceremony take place, and it's always like, talk about reflecting. I reflect a lot when I'm sitting there, and just how lucky and blessed that I am to be in the position that I am, and for our players to be able to, play in a program that has such a rich tradition
I
is
know.
phenomenal.
It's crazy. Now, do other schools that you visit, because I've never been to like any away games, do they do like this kind of stuff? Do
They honestly, they've tried to mimic.
I was gonna
some of
say,
them try to
yeah.
mimic what we've done, and you know, all the credit in the world. I like it. You know, we've changed with the video board. We do a pregame video now,
badass.
which is awesome, and gives us a chance to highlight the players that are there. But
Mimicry is
yeah.
flattering.
Right.
Can I ask who did that video? Because I was taken aback by it.
Jordan Loescher does our videos. And
It is phenomenal.
He's awesome. Every year, it's like he comes in with an idea, and you know, it's awesome to watch that process. You know, I dabble in graphic design myself, not
I know
the
you
video
do.
stuff, but it's fun to watch him produce something like that and like take it from, you know, scraps to putting it together. It's awesome to watch it.
It's really incredible. So real quick, he mentioned graphic design. So when I ran for alderman, AD helped me.
Yeah.
You designed my flyers, and they were amazing.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's like such a small world that everybody
right.
kind of intersects at the most random times, including now. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm just loving
It's
it.
fun.
Yeah. But okay, so I always wondered, if other teams if they had, quite the fanfare. I kind of already knew the answer because it's unrivaled. I mean, I just don't know that you could ever get that feeling.
Well, you really don't. And to be honest, it's not like every school that we go to does something like that. But you know, they have their own tradition.
Sure.
But I will say when you guys were back and watched the Thanksgiving tournament, but the amount of fans that come out to watch our teams play year in and year out is crazy. I mean, when we go and travel to Chicago area schools, there might only be 70 people in the stands, and 20 of them might be our fans that are traveling. So again, it gives our kids an opportunity to see what other programs do, what they have, and they have to be thankful for what we have, because it's unlike any other.
Yeah.
Do you think the fan age or like whatever has changed? I know, like when my grandparents had season tickets.
Yeah.
Do people still carry like?
Oh,
are
absolutely.
They, yeah.
Yeah. Call our athletic. Well, don't. But call our athletic office.
Yeah.
It's
so it's still the
headache.
same, like where like I don't want to say, but elderly people enjoy this.
Yeah.
It's almost like grandfathered in.
Yes.
Like they
Right.
want the same seats every year. And like I was sitting in some reserve seats under the scoreboard because two of my mom's people who couldn't go. So I was like, I'll sit there, of course.
Right.
But people want the same seats every year because it's almost like some people, I think, they want the same seats because it is good luck.
Yeah.
Some people because they like the view, and some people just because it's their tradition, that's where they sit. One problem, like some of these reserve seating, especially other schools, when they come in, they don't know
or understand.
They don't understand they don't
Right.
understand the seriousness that is QHS basketball. So when they come in to these reserve seats, there's been some potential scraps going on
well,
there.
we have to have security guards there,
right?
No doubt. And we've had to up that. When you're put together a good product, obviously more people want season tickets, which is great.
Yeah.
It helps me keep my job. But no, and I don't think there's too many schools out there now. I mean, there might be a handful in Illinois that even do season tickets.
Yeah, that's interesting to think that at high school
Right.
level you're
It's
getting
outstanding, really, when you think about it, that so many people are that dedicated to a whole season of high school sports.
Yeah. Well, and
I love it.
You go to Hy-Vee or County Market, which is not County Market.
Neiman's
now.
Yep.
But if I go there on random days, and if I see someone that's a Blue Devil fan and they come up, a lot of the times it's we've had season
how long does it
tickets
take
for
you to
50
grocery shop,
years,
Andy?
Well, if it's
a long
a win,
time.
I go. If we lose, I'm not going.
And then
I
he's
send
trying
my
to
wife.
remember what his wife asked for, so
Yeah.
it takes a really long time.
FaceTime's a great tool to have now.
So you're famous, of course, in Quincy. I'm sure everybody loves to stop and talk to you about, plays and, why didn't you do this?
Why didn't you?
Right? I can only imagine.
How many why didn't you?
It's
Do you really?
It's multiple a week. Yeah.
Really?
I'm
Yeah.
surprised people like kind of have the balls to say that.
I am too.
Yeah.
And I want to tell them that, but I
You know,
don't.
what would be really awesome is if at any point you could do like a random draw of spectators and have them play.
Right.
And be like, you got to play your play that you wanted me to do.
Yeah,
you got to
right.
play this and see how far you get.
Well, I mean, I've had people come up and at random times, and it's like, hey, have you ever worked on free throw shooting? It's like, well,
Wow.
yeah,
No.
free throw shooting, that's a new concept.
Just be like
but
this. What's that?
Have you ever practiced baseline out of bounds or just random stuff? And these are high school kids. I think that's what people really need to understand is they're high school kids. They're not going to be perfect. I mean, you watch college basketball, whether it's, John Wood, Quincy University, University of Illinois, those players are making mistakes quite often, and ours do too.
Professionals do.
Unfortunately, they do.
I think you need to drive that one home that they're high school kids.
Right,
I don't
right.
think people.
It's hard to think of them like that, though, because they are so damn good.
that, and then the environment that we are hyping everything up,
and that's that's a part of it. too.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have, if you have a bunch of people that are invested, you're going to have some of that. And, I knew that taking the job, and, it's something that I'm not on social media anymore.
Bravo.
I figured
that out because I was messaging you on Messenger, and I told
really?
Ashley, I was like, I need his phone number, I guess. I don't know.
I stole it from Nick Highland. Thinking it. Yeah.
But do you have to tell those kids, I guess, at times, like you said, it's so big. Are you the person that has to level out their head sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I know growing up in the program, actually, we just got done talking about that today with some of our kids. But when you grow up in the program, and I went through it, and when I got home to, whether it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, where everybody's around and families coming in from out of town, it's a lot of, well, you need to shoot more, you need to score more.
Oh.
Like, why don't they run plays to you? And it's almost like at times they're being told opposite of what we're telling them.
Yeah.
And it's difficult.
Who's the captain here?
Right.
Who's the coach?
See, I find myself doing that with Claire. I'm like, you need to get up there. She's like, that's not what they tell us.
Yes.
I'm like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
just going to shut my mouth.
Well,
Yeah.
when a parent's yelling, shoot it, and I'm telling the player, like, if you listen to your parents tell you to shoot, you're coming out because you're not a shooter.
Really?
Yeah.
We don't want you shooting the
Yeah.
ball. That's not what you do. But everybody that is on the team, whether they play a lot or they play a little, they have an important role, which is helping us succeed. And when you're telling them opposite of what a coach is telling them, it messes with kids' heads.
Yeah.
And luckily, we've had level-headed guys, and this year's group is extremely level-headed. They know exactly what it's going to take to win games, and we're working to do that every day of practice.
So you heard it from the captain. Leave it to the captains
Right.
and the coaches. Parents need to step back.
Yeah, shut it up,
sometimes.
parents. I do. So here's kind
Now,
of.
not our parents now.
Right.
No.
Our parents. With
I don't
our
know.
group,
There are some
they're
parents
fine.
though
They're
that
great.
I've seen. I mean, not necessarily in the basketball program, but just in today's.
Right,
We
right.
need to, as parents.
Reel it in.
Yep.
Reel it in. So, and I understand both sides of that because
Same.
I was never sportsy,
Yeah.
right? I'm getting into sports. I love
pretending
sports.
to be like, well, not. I'm not. Yeah, I like a good ball game.
I even started watching football. I mean, I'm getting into sports. I
Yes.
feel like I'm turning over a new leaf. But I understand both sides now because the dedication is not just the player when you're talking about high school sports or even junior high sports, because it takes a lot of dedication from the parents as well, getting them there, spending the
absolutely.
money, making sure their kids are, doing what they're supposed to be doing as far as healthy eating and sleeping and working out. And, so a lot of parents put their blood, sweat, and tears into it as well. So I understand the passion
Yes.
that is behind it,
Yeah.
but there is a time and a place for that. And I think once your child steps onto that field, that court, it's your time to stand back and kind of just trust that you're teaching them and helping them the
Right.
right way, and let the coach step in and
the
do
coach
their
is the
thing.
leader of the team.
Right?
Well, when I started coaching, people probably won't believe this, but it's like my job isn't to win games. Obviously, to keep my job, I'm going to have to win games. Like, that's inevitable, especially here.
It'd be pretty sad if you had all that fanfare only to lose every
Right,
game.
right.
That would be really silly.
But I don't
Yeah.
coach to win basketball games. Like, when you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, and we've had this conversation with our kids recently. You're going to play high school basketball for a short amount of time. The vast majority of you will never play organized basketball again. And very few will go on to college and play, and hopefully we get a couple at some point to go further than that, which would be great. But 99.9% of athletes are done after high school. Yeah. So it's our job not to just win basketball games. It's our job to teach them tools and give them tools and learn life lessons that are going to help them when they're fathers, when they're husbands, and those are the most important things that you can get out of athletics. So, I get, parents they want their kid to do well, and so do we. There's nobody in the city of Quincy that wants to win more than we do.
Yeah.
With the kids that put the amount of work in that they do, but our job is also to teach them to be great men, young men, and better Quincy or wherever they go when they're done. Playing.
Love it. Role model.
Yes.
Mentoring. Love it. And it is something that we kind of forget because we, as fans, as spectators, we see the athleticism and, the kind of like the prowess. We see the ability to win and the talent that's out there. And we're like, yes.
Right.
Man, it makes us proud to be Quincyans. It makes us proud to be Blue Devils. And it's a feeling that's really hard to match anywhere you go, I think, which is really, it says a lot about the program. It says a lot about you as a coach. It says a lot about the players, of course, but also, the parents and everybody who supports the Blue Devils. It's just a really incredible thing.
It's huge. Like, you don't have a program like this because of one specific person,
right?
Whether it's a coach or a player or donors or whatever. Like, it takes everybody to run a program like this, and it took, years and years of success and hard work and dedication to get the program to where it's at right now. I look at what we had when we played and what I had when I played at Quincy University was like, you walk into a closet and you're used to having this nice locker room and, you
were spoiled.
Sweater vest and polos and travel sweats and all this type of stuff. And then you go there and it's like you get
here's your T-shirt.
T-shirt and maybe a hoodie. That was it.
Yeah.
So, our guys are extremely lucky, but it came off of the backs of everybody else that was in the program.
Before.
So
the program is a family.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I know you said that there's not like one person but the Douglas family name is a huge part of this tradition and it is a legacy.
Yeah.
And that you're a huge part of it. So what I said before, we grew up from one another kind of, I guess. Your family did. I didn't realize it until I said to my parents that you were my guest, and they said something about me selling Girl Scout cookies to your parents, and I was like, wait, what?
Yep.
And I put it all together.
Peanut butter ones. We used to
Yes,
Or I think they're called tagalongs.
Mine are do-si-dos.
Do-si-dos?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, maybe I was
My
right.
dad always had his, stash that
I was
nobody
gonna
ever
say,
knew. That
secretly hide them.
You
from,
stole
from
them.
everyone.
Okay, so where the location was around, did you play basketball in Johnson Park?
We lived at Johnson Park.
Did you?
I tell our guys that now, and they're like, "Huh? You played outside?
You played
Doesn't that hurt your
outside?
knees? Like, what do
Spoiled.
you do?" No joke. When I coached at Liberty, loved my time at Liberty. Had some great parents, great kids, great fans. But I remember we took them outside to practice once, just to mix it up. And we take them outside. It was a nice day. It was like, hey, we're going outside to practice. And we start warming up, getting ready to play. And one of the guys says, Coach, can I go in and get my sunglasses? It's like, you never see anybody playing. Well, maybe now. I don't know. Kids are soft nowadays. But you never see kids really playing with sunglasses on. But, no, as soon as we got home, it was
walked down the alley, went to the park.
Yeah.
I always played at the small single basketball because everyone else had taken the
they
big
were running it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no one ever wanted the single one because it had the crappiest concrete and
It was tripping over like the undulations in the concrete.
Right.
But I learned how to do I can still shoot a good shot, kind of.
We'll
I
have
don't
to
know.
bring you
I was
to
waiting.
practice.
I was waiting for her to throw out some lingo there. She said, "Shoot a good shot."
Shoot a good shot. Speaking of lingo, do you have any good lingo for us? But since we're clueless,
You gonna quiz us on some stuff?
Well, I could go really difficult. I could go middle of the road.
It doesn't
I could
matter
go
what you
extremely
do. I
easy.
think all we know is layup, and I don't even know exactly if I could define that.
Yeah, that.
Running
And I said take it to the house, and he said that's football, and I said
Yeah,
no,
see,
it's
we're-
not.
yeah,
So
we're-
we're clueless.
Yeah.
So
Well, how would you take it to the house in basketball?
do a layup,
Okay, all right.
or
A dunk, a slam dunk.
From what
is
I
I'm
heard
thinking.
last night when I was telling some of my bar customers that I was interviewing you, I heard this great story about, and so correct me when I'm saying it wrong. It was the year of 1981.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Is that
and
when we were born?
That was when we were.
Yeah.
all right,
okay.
so
Yep,
it was
yep.
pre-Brittany, and Dennis is your uncle. I don't know. We're gonna have to go back to the family tree here in a minute. Dennis grabbed the ball with one hand, and it was almost going out of bounds, and he lofted it.
Yeah,
Am I
yeah.
saying the right term?
He just launched it.
He launched it
Yeah.
to Bruce, and Bruce dunked it, and they won by 1 point.
Yep,
Did this
that's-
really happen?
That's a true story.
True
Full
story.
Court pass. I think it happened a couple times, to be honest. But yeah, full court pass. Bruce caught it out of bounds with one hand, threw it back in.
Wait, so Bruce caught it or Dennis caught it?
Well, I don't think it was Dennis.
Okay, well then, my
Bob
Mellor,
says Bruce.
okay.
And
They
but
might have had a couple.
but there's
too many
no
drinks when
video.
they were telling that. There is.
Is there video?
Yeah,
yep.
I
I actually have a picture of it.
There's a
right
picture.
behind my
I
desk.
saw the picture,
Yeah.
but I didn't see video. I was looking for video.
oh,
I don't
that's
know.
awesome.
Yeah. Yep. It
That is
was-
so cool.
So, all right, launched it, dunked. I
Lofted it, whatever.
Shoot us some terminology here, Andy.
All right, let's rim run.
Huh? That sounds like something I saw in a movie
I
not
was about
too
to
long
say,
ago.
that
Wink, wink,
does
wink.
not-
No, I'm kidding. Okay.
That sounds super
It does
sexual.
sound dirty. So, all right, rim run. I'm going to say you're running, and it's kind of like a slam dunk, but you grab onto it.
That would be
You're
a
not-
technical, so
Shit.
we're not doing that. But
I don't know what that
it is. Rim running is what we tell our bigs, our post guy.
Uh-huh.
As soon as we get a rebound, transitioning from offense or defense to offense,
Mm-hmm.
we want him running right down the middle of the floor. So
Is that when you're yelling? Yep. And then you're yelling the number of who to
Yep,
whatever
yep.
to guard.
Rim run.
So we're
Rim
not
run.
the guard, but,
But
yeah,
to-
it's pretty
I'm
close.
hearing rum ham.
All right.
Is all I hear.
Listen,
rum
I just
ham.
sound like a complete idiot when I'm trying to figure this out. But
What position did you play?
I was a guard. Some
Okay.
would say a shooting guard, but
Okay.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a shooting star, only a shooting star.
star.
That's he.
That's
Okay,
right.
all right,
That's right.
right.
Next term.
You should have
Okay.
came into the student section a little more often
You
back in the
know,
day.
I was busy doing other extracurriculars. Okay, I loved going, but getting all my friends to go was a task. But
Yeah,
Not me. That was
That
the
was your
party.
jam.
That was the jam for us.
See, even then, I would be like this. I don't know what's going on.
I didn't
but
know.
I
it was-
love.
I,
would
I
love it,
still
yeah.
didn't know what was going on. But
All right, next turn.
What
next
about
turn.
wall up?
wall up?
Wall up.
Shove that guy into the wall
Yeah.
and get a point.
Yeah, well,
Is that kind of it?
that might be a technical too, but
Man, we're getting lots of technicals.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
That does not surprise me.
another post. Well, I guess it could be anybody, but defense on the inside. So when they get the ball inside, instead of trying
You're
to
making a
jump
wall?
and block shots, we're making a wall. So we stick our arms straight up in the air, and we have some tall guys this year, so we're trying
Yeah.
to make teams shoot over the top of us. So we'll tell them to wall up, so they don't
Wall
pick
up.
fouls.
All right,
Wall
so it's like
up.
man
Opponent
up.
into a wall and get
Rim, what was
in
it?
trouble.
Rim shot. No.
Rim run and
Rim run and wall
and
wall
wall
up.
up.
All right,
Okay.
I cannot wait to throw these terms out at the
All right.
basketball game. Okay.
Yeah, we need to have a what do they call that? A GoPro on
Oh, I
you
can't
and
wait.
mic'd up.
You're just
Ashley
gonna
mic'd
hear
up.
me.
Mic up.
Wall up.
It's like, wait a second.
And they're gonna be like, "Who's this
We're on
broad?"
offense. What are you yelling wall up for?
And then there's
Eventually,
do
I'm gonna
not
get one
listen
right.
to your
No.
parents in the
Right,
crowd.
exactly.
All right,
Okay,
do we have
next.
another one?
Let's go a little more difficult here.
All right.
Bluff and recover.
Psych.
Ah.
It's like a psych out.
Yeah.
Like you're going one way. Did I get it?
Proud of you.
Was it?
Yeah,
I knew.
That's
Yeah.
it.
You said it was tough.
Well, I mean,
Bluff
the
and
other ones were
recover.
easy and you didn't
Bluff
get
and
those, so-
recover is pretty. Yeah.
No,
psych
that's-
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like psych out.
Yeah, you're
I'm
guarding
gonna
your
go this
man,
way.
and
Oh
your-
wait,
your
that's not how I
teammate-
took it. I thought it was like psych out with the ball. Like I'm going this way, you're going
and I
that
saw
way.
that happen a few times
Yeah, it
at
better
the
happen
tournament.
quite often.
Yeah, well, I didn't know what it was, so
Right,
now that I know what to
right.
look for, I'm going to call it out.
Yeah.
I won't call it out because I don't want to do that. I'm going to
Right,
blow it,
You'll
right?
get that one right.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
What about a block
it's
out?
the
Oh,
I just
what?
got delivered the
Oh yeah.
the loft shot. I'm sure
The
Bob's
loft
gonna.
shot.
He'll.
I don't think loft is right.
It is my loft shot.
Launch, launch.
Dennis,
shot.
Dennis is the one throwing the pass here.
All right.
We'll put
He's
this.
the one lofting the pass.
We'll put
if you
this
will.
up on
And
the
this
video
game is
for
being
you guys to
this
see.
game is being played at the greatest university there is.
holy
What is
shit.
that? What video?
That is University of Illinois right there. Now that was yeah.
Okay.
Bob is disagreeing with you over there.
Yeah, Bob
what
has
it is,
issues,
man.
is what he
So
has.
it was who that lofted it again?
That was Dennis who lofted it.
I
there.
was right.
All
My
right.
Miller was right too.
Do you know how tall he was?
He was back then. He was probably 6'5", 6'6".
He's
maybe.
a big dude.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I mean, in high school, if you see that coming, listen. All right, so you got some shorter dudes on your team, but I'm talking fast. I don't know. I'm not going to mention any names, but I think everybody knows who we're talking about. But then you have some really tall guys.
Yeah.
Okay, and I know everybody brings, a different, unique skill or
Yep.
talent to the game. But man, seeing a 6'5" guy coming at you,
That
that is.
fast.
Go.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I just lay down on the ground. I'm just gonna lay down. Like,
Okay.
you guys can have it. All right.
So we need to bring up, since we're mentioning all these Douglas names,
Yep.
let's
Yep.
make it so it's not confusing
Make
for
it
people.
happen.
So prior to this, I had you draw out the Douglas family tree.
Yep.
So Coach, can you give me a play-by-play?
I can give you a play-by-play, and hopefully I didn't leave anybody off. If I did, I was. This is the most nerve-wracking interview I've ever done. So
Rick!
when I had
Okay.
to write this down, I was shaking half of the time.
All
But
right.
It starts with my grandmother,
Of course.
Graham, and
MVP.
Yeah, she is. She
Yeah.
is. She still is. And my dad is Jerry. He's the oldest of the group. And then in no particular order, we have the two ladies of the family. Out of 9, there was 2. Melva and Diane.
Oh man.
Daryl was played a little basketball, was a standout on the football field. Ken, his nickname is Rico. We love Ken. Keith, Dennis, and Bruce were all big time players. Those are the ones I get a lot of questions about. Especially when we go out of town. It's like, so you're a Douglas, right? Who are you? Who's your dad?
Yes.
And I'm like, well, my dad was Jerry. He didn't play a whole lot, but he could shoot the heck out of the ball. And then Carl, rest in heaven, Carl. But
Yeah.
that kind of fills out our entire
Family tree.
Family tree.
And then
Okay.
lots of kids,
And
and
then lots of
everybody's
kids
got
underneath.
talent.
But let's talk off of, so Jerry's dad, your brothers, who are they?
My brothers are, Mike is my older brother, and then we have Tony, Aaron, and Alex.
And then Tony was he a big track? He was track. too.
Tony and Alex both ran track, and Tony won state long jump, triple jump. So yeah, it's a fun family.
It is a fun family. So you said most of them played basketball. You played basketball. All right, here's a weird question that I think I may have said this before. If all the Douglases were of the same age,
Yeah.
who would be the best basketball player?
Well, other than me, it would probably. Yeah.
You're looking down
Yeah,
at
everybody,
the tree,
He
knows. He
studying
already
the
knows the
tree.
answer.
Well, but Bruce was
I've
Mr.
heard.
Basketball.
I've heard.
All right. So does Bruce ever, or anyone else in your family, like when you get together for Thanksgivings and stuff, do they say,
Let's
"Man,
go
you
play a
should have"?
game?
No, they giving you pointers and telling you how to
Oh.
do things different. Like,
Well-
and do you listen, or how does that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm respectful. I listen, but
But you're not putting it into play.
but I do,
No, I'm kidding.
I do tell them that
Times
Bruce was
have
probably the
changed,
best.
yeah.
Keith, a lot of people would argue Keith too, and Dennis obviously had a heck of a career as well, but none of them were coaches. So in the
That's-
family,
that's-
I'm the best coach.
I
that
was
we
getting
had,
ready to
There you
say
go.
a player is not a coach. That's
Right?
two totally
Yep.
different things,
Yep,
man.
yep.
That's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
I can't. So, are you the only coach
Right?
ever?
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
That's got to make your family
Wait,
proud.
don't-
So, okay, I always say, so my family, my extended family, they're all very musically inclined. Logan Cameron, my aunts, everybody just plays instruments, has a beautiful voice. I didn't get any of that. Your family is full of athletic talent.
Yeah.
So that's got to be just really cool to to feel, and I'm sure they all come out and support you.
That's a huge piece. Like I remember, like, you know, we're extremely blessed. Our family is, and a lot of that falls on the back of our grandmother.
Yeah.
You know, Claydine, and but the support that we've had from her, you know, I'll get a random phone call. You know, you're doing great, grandson. I love watching you, and that, and then, you know, even as a player way back in the day now, but you know, they would always travel to watch us play. You know, and it wasn't every game, but any time we were around Peoria, Keith would be there. Anytime we were up north, Bruce would always show up, and you know, that's awesome, because you know you
That's
feel
the good stuff,
right? You feel a different way being a Blue Devil basketball player. It's not that you're better than anybody, but you're just like, man, I finally made it to
you
this
got
level,
that cockiness
you know?
because you earned it,
right? And it's like, man, we finally made it. This has been a dream of mine since
since you picked up that basketball the first time, right?
I remember my dad.
Or did you think about that the first time?
Right. But my dad coached years ago when we lived in St. Peter's, and I remember he took his team to Quincy High, and he's like, hey, do you want to go? And I'm like, heck yeah, I want to go. You know, I think I was 4th grade, and I'll never forget.
Just a little Andy dork.
Right.
Yeah.
I was too. This is back when I was, you know, I didn't have.
We all were.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
I didn't know a cuss word back then. I don't now either.
No, I know that.
I remember he walked us in, and we parked on 30th Street. It was packed, and we walk in, and there was like the blue and white checkered floor. Mm-hmm. And I always thought that was like the coolest thing, and it was loud. You know, we came from a Christian school in St. Louis area, Grace Christian School, and it had a good fan base, but nothing not even in one section could it add up to what we had. But we walked into the gym, and it was like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. And we go and sit up at the very top and watch the game, and the entire time, I don't think I took my eye off of the ball, just watching the game, and I was so into it. And afterwards, I told my dad, we got to move. We have to move here. We have to move here. And, you know, God works in mysterious ways, and we ended up, you know, they ended up getting jobs here, and we ended up moving back a couple years later.
Yeah, I was like, was that your influence?
Well,
you definitely did it.
Maybe.
That's pretty interesting.
That is such a cool story.
Yeah.
It's like serendipity. Like you
I don't know
belonged
what that
here.
means, but yeah.
Well, okay. I think it's like a movie or a book. I don't really know either. I pull that word out a lot, but I feel like it's like the magic of it. You are where you're supposed to be, and it probably took some steps, including going to that basketball game and your dad, you know, supporting you, and your entire family supporting you, including your grandmother. I mean, come on, she's got to be just like an angel on earth. But having all of those pieces of the puzzle come together to get to get where you are today, that's incredible, man. That's outstanding.
It's I always was taught, my parents always taught me that everything happens for a reason, you know, and I tell our guys that no matter what comes up, if it's really great or if it's, you know, something that happens that's, you know, seems like it's the worst thing in the world that happened to you, and I've had, you know, a handful of those in my lifetime, but everything happens for a reason, and you know, I feel like I'm in the right spot. You know, I'm in the spot that I was chosen to be in, and you know, every day you wake up, it can be a headache. I'm not going to lie. You know, taking this job over. My wife would tell you that first and foremost, but you know,
God bless her too, because we all know that she's an angel on earth as well.
She really is.
She is.
Being married to me, number one, but you know, being married to a coach is next level.
It's a job in and of itself.
The time and the season too, right? Like, I mean, other than that, like, is it kind of smooth sailing?
We get a break when it's like we get a 2-week break after season, and then we get a couple weeks, maybe July for the most part. We'll step back, and that'll be our reflecting time. And as soon as August sits back, you know, gets going, we're diving into film.
Back at it.
Yeah, there's really no break.
How we're gonna win? How we're gonna win games?
I would kill to be a fly on the wall watching you go through this entire process from, you know, I don't know if you recruit, but picking your players.
No, they do not recruit.
Well, I don't know, but like,
so hey,
Ashley, but like picking players, or like, you know, when players
Bob,
try
can we
out.
cut that out?
Do you recruit? I don't know.
No, so when vintage.
Yeah.
He was suspended for a period of time
Yeah.
for recruiting a player during
shit.
my high school.
Okay, that was an awesome statement.
That is
Do
actually
not cut
cool.
that. Okay, so no, what I'm talking about, like the process of selecting your players and
Right,
going through the
right.
cuts, and I would love to see how that happens, and then watch that talent come together as a team on the floor to create what is QHS Blue Devil basketball. I think that's got to be just.
It would make for a pretty
Oh my
good
gosh.
video movie.
I think it would be
podcast.
like a documentary.
Yes.
To do something like that would be outstanding, and then to kind of watch how the guys live life off the court, as well as you. And I know, so we brought up Linda, right?
Yeah.
But you also have some kids.
Yep.
All right, let's shout them out real
Landon,
quick.
Harper, and Sloan.
They're so
Yeah.
adorable.
They're awesome.
Cutest
I don't know
kids.
which one you had on your social media when I was trying to message you. The one, she's beautiful curls. I was
Oh,
just like,
it's
oh my
Probably
gosh.
our youngest one, Sloan.
Sloan,
Yeah,
she's adorable. Well, they're all
she's awesome.
beautiful kids. Now, do you think they're going to follow in footsteps of the sports?
Landon's
Of the
playing.
legacy,
Harper's playing. You know, Landon plays basketball. I'm trying to get him into a little golf too. And
Yeah.
Harper and Harper's playing volleyball, basketball. She'll do anything. She's a heck of an athlete. And then Sloan, you know, she's at that age where we're. It's like,
She's
yeah,
like,
I want to play
nah.
soccer, and I'm like, no, it's a lot of running, Sloan. I don't want to watch you.
What? Soccer is so
just-
much.
Listen, there's
fun.
nothing
No,
funnier.
I love soccer, but
There's
it's just,
nothing funnier than watching little kids
Oh,
run around
no
chasing
kidding.
that
It's
ball.
funny when it's not
Yours.
yours.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, it gets a little chilly, and she doesn't want to play. And I remember those days too. But no, I think they'll all be in. They're going to be involved in something.
Yeah.
You know, that's. You know, I was never forced to play, and I'm not going to force them to play. You know, but I do
But
want
getting
them
them
involved
involved in
something
something.
because
Sure.
you know you learn so much from athletics. You learn so much from music. Like when you're involved in that. You know, those are life lessons that last forever. You
Yeah.
know? So I do want them to be involved in something, and I know they will be.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah.
So I will say the next time I'm at a game, rather than videoing the entire fanfare, I'm going to be zoomed in on you folding that towel.
Well,
You know? Because
happens.
I didn't know that, and now that I know it, I'm going to be like this.
Yeah, now I have to watch
I
this.
honestly I don't think I've told anybody that before.
Well, now everybody's going to be watching
Yes.
you.
Sharing too many secrets. Too,
No, I
but
love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Andy Douglas, you have always been and will always be one of my favorite people ever. I am
I
proud to
appreciate
know you, and I'm proud of the work you're doing in our community and with our youth and with our sports. It is truly a pleasure, and I'm so glad you came.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us at
Yeah.
the
Absolutely.
table.
This
It's
is a
been
lot of
awesome.
fun.
So, okay, so you said you were nervous. What
Yeah.
do you think?
Was it fun?
You know, you guys. It's a comforting place here. You know, I'd
Hey,
be back
that's
anytime.
my guy.
I'd come back
That's my guy.
anytime.
All right, so more nervous for your first basketball game or this?
First basketball game.
Yeah, as a coach.
Oh well, that
I read that story.
that
I did
was
too.
Yeah, that was nerve wracking.
Yeah.
I can't lie about that.
But
That was
you,
nerve-wracking.
but you held your composure so much that your players didn't even know you were nervous,
Right.
and that's what makes a good
Well,
coach.
they didn't know that I wanted to cry like the entire time walking out.
Wait, did we make you want to cry though?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, not
All
yet.
right.
I'm not gone
Yeah,
yet.
the camera's still rolling. But all right, Andy Douglas, thank you so much.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you
you're
for
awesome.
being
Thank you.
here.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.